Thank you Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video.
Welcome back to Sous Vide Everything, guys. Today I'm gonna try everything I can to make the most expensive steak that you can find it in any good restaurant for only 10 bucks. That's the challenge. This is my take on it. Check it out.
And we're going to start off with two beautiful steaks. These are prime steaks. And I'll tell you one thing, they have a wonderful marbling. They are prime grade steaks. Always look for amazing intramuscular fat on your steaks. That is how we determine how good a steak actually is. And we all know most restaurants want the best quality. That is why I'm using these two beauties. But one of them I'm going to be using some tricks to get them as expensive as we can. And everything starts off with the seasoning. So for that I season both with salt, freshly ground black pepper, and garlic powder. Nothing else. I'm a true believer that if the beef is good, you gotta keep it simple. That way we can really feel the flavor of these steaks. But now that we got them perfectly seasoned, the only thing left to do is to bag them up, vacuum seal them, and get them ready for the water bath. That's perfect because it allows me time to go ahead and prepare other things to make one steak really expensive. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that sauces can help you get there. And for a steak, there's nothing like chimichurri. This one is gonna be real cheap and easy to make, but at the same time, it is delicious. And here's how to make it. Into a food processor, I threw in a little bit of fresh cilantro followed by freeze-dried parsley. Then a good amount of oregano, red wine vinegar, lemon juice, garlic, and finished it off with salt and pepper. Now all there's left to do is to blend it well because your chimichurri sauce is almost ready. As you can see, using my food processor made the job a lot easier. But if you don't have one, you can actually chop it up by hand. It will work just fine, but it just takes more time. To finish it off the chimichurri, all there's left to do is to add a good amount of good quality olive oil and your chimichurri sauce is done. This right here, my friends, will pair up nicely with any steak. I mean, I'm guilty. I just like to put this thing on everything. And the wonderful thing is that it will last quite some time on your refrigerator. The next thing to try to elevate our steak even more is to make some amazing shrimp. That's awesome because shrimp can be really inexpensive. And here's what they look like raw. I like to use big shrimp. These are the one that comes 8 to 10 in a bag. It is the largest one I can find. Those little tiny ones, by the time you're done cooking, they're just too small. So always look for nice and thick boys just like this. Now as you can see, they already come fully cleaned. But what I like to do is to go ahead and grab my knife and split it almost all the way through. This will allow them to get a nice presentation towards the end. Now the next thing to do is to go ahead and throw all of them inside of the marinade. And this marinade is extremely flavorful and very easy to make, and here's how. As always, remember exact amount and ingredients always in the description down below for you. I started with a good amount of low sodium soy sauce, followed by honey, Dijon mustard, lime juice, and a good amount of olive oil. Now all there's left to do is to mix it well because your marinade is done. This one is not only perfect for shrimp but also white fish. So make sure you have this one at your arsenal at any time. Now you want to let these shrimp soak in here for at least 2 hours, or better yet, overnight. Because once that's done, the only thing left to do is to go ahead and cook them. And with a nice hot cast iron skillet, I like to put a little bit of the marinade together with the shrimp. Now here's one of the important things you gotta keep in mind. It will definitely burn. And that's actually kind of what I'm looking for, because that will give a nice little crust to these shrimp. If you don't do that, you won't get these burnt edges like this. But at the same time, do not overdo it. If not, you're gonna get a bitter taste. As you can see, once I was done, I was left with some beautiful shrimps. Now my cast iron skillet, on the other hand, needs some cleaning. And do not try to put this in your sink and try to take it out. Just use a scraper because it makes the job a lot easier. That is a lot of burnt sugar and it just has to go. As you can see, by the time I was done, it was perfectly cleaned. That is as easy as it gets. Now to finish it off the shrimp, I added chimichurri sauce. I'm not quite sure if this is going to be a good combination, but I just love chimichurri sauce. So I went ahead and add some. And for even more acidity, I threw in some pickled onions. I've already explained how to make these on a previous episode, and if you are interested, make sure you check it out in the description down below. These pickled onions are not only awesome, but you should have them in your refrigerator at all times. By the time I was done plating, all there's left to do is to add a good amount of olive oil, followed by a pinch of paprika for coloring, because by that time my shrimps are done. And hopefully this will pair up beautifully with our wonderful steaks. Talking about that, the only thing left to do is to go ahead and cook them. And for that, I'm throwing them in the sous vide water bath at 135 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours. And I'm sure sous vide is not gonna disappoint and get me a perfect medium rare in the middle like every single time.
If you've never cooked shrimp like that, give yourself a treat, everybody. Just give it a try. I know that the caramelized edges looks pretty much burned, which actually it's accurate, right? It's kind of burned, but it sticks to the edge of the shrimp. We're not putting the whole thing around, but just the edges of the shrimp. So it works really, really well. It does wonder for the shrimp. I'm telling you, give it a try. You will not regret it, I promise. Now, pairing that up with a wonderful steak, that should be heaven. With all that being said, the steaks are ready. Remember, I cooked that at 131 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours. We are hungry and it's time to take it out. Let's do it. I cannot wait to put a crust on these beautiful steaks, then go ahead and put the shrimp right on top and see how it's gonna taste. It's gonna have to be amazing. I'll tell you that right now. But I know what you're thinking. I know. I understand. I know they do not look that good right now. But watch this. Before moving forward, I want to thank today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Make sure you use my link down below in the description to download Raid to your mobile device or PC. Have you taken down the Demon Lord yet? Crushed the Ice Golem? Ascended the Doom Tower? What about fighting against millions of players in the arena? Raid Shadow Legends has all of that and more. Explore millions of champions combinations and master countless tactics as you take on raid bosses, dungeon runs, campaign battles, and PvP arena matches. And recently, Raid released their biggest update ever, the Doom Tower. It's a huge challenge, but I've been having a lot of fun trying to beat it. It is a giant tower with 120 floors, a bunch of secret challenge rooms, and 12 super tough bosses to take on. This month's absolute stacks in terms of special events too, with a load of awesome tournaments coming up through February, along with some special Valentine's Day events. There's never been a better time to dive in and get started. And here are some tips that should help you improve your champions and get better rankings in these events. You want to make sure you are developing the right champions. Look at your champion's rating and see if he's a good fit where you are trying to use him. Make sure he has the right gear. If you equip your attack champion with a lot of defense gear, you're wasting your time. As you can see, a defense champions attack to damage based on their defense. So make sure you equip them properly. Also, attack percent, defense percent, and HP percent are the best gear for each of those guys. Go to the video description, click on the special link, and if you are a new player, you're gonna get 50,000 silvers, 50 gems, 1 energy refill, 1 claim boss key, 5 mystery shard, 1 day XP booster, 1 free epic champion, Shaman. She's an awesome champion that can revive your allies and also do a decent amount of damage to your enemies. All this treasure will be waiting for you here. Thank you, Raid Shadow Legends, for sponsoring this video, but now let's get right back to it. All right, everybody, here we have our beautiful steaks today. Are you ready, Mama?
Surf and turf!
Mama's favorite. By the way, if you guys don't know, this guy is a professional diver. Long time ago, not right now.
Right now, I'm a professional buoy.
There's nothing wrong with that, Mama. As we get older, instead of swimming, we just float.
We just float. That's it. Lay on top of the water, just...
Hey, relax, right?
Yeah,
don't need to do anything.
No, don't need to do that.
That's just a terrible analogy.
I miss diving.
I know, me too, right? All right, so here's the deal. We got a beautiful sous vide steak here, and then we got a fancier version of here. So I want you to try it. I only spent $10 on this steak right here, extra. So it should be better, right?
All right.
Because by default, $10. I want to know how far my $10 is gonna go. Better go real far, everybody. Money does not grow on a tree like Uncle Roger say. You know what I mean? So we got a nice sous vide steak over here. Oh, I tell you right now, it's nice and tender, boy.
Nice and tender.
Nice and tender, just the way I like it. You're gonna go for everything, Mama.
Everything.
Huh?
Yeah.
Everything together. Cheers, everybody. It's so tender.
Why is it so good?
Why
Why is it so good, guys?
It's so tender and juicy. That is a phenomenal steak. Wow.
Super juicy, super flavorful. This is a control, regular steak.
That's a regular steak. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, nothing else.
Amazing.
It's a phenomenal steak. There's not much to be said about that. Now here's the secret with this one right here. I want to take a bite together with shrimp. You know what I'm saying, Mama?
Shrimp has a nice crust on it.
I know, right?
Almost a little too nice.
Normally, we're not able to get a crust on shrimp, but I was able to get it with a little burnt sugar. So it should have a little bit of
a little sweetness to it.
a little sweetness, but together with some bitterness. I have no idea. We're gonna find out if it's gonna be good. You ready?
Sounding better by the minute.
And obviously, I put right there just for you because I know you really enjoy it. You saw that pickled onions?
I've been daydreaming about it since I saw it on the plate.
I'll tell you one thing. If it does not improve, at least it smells a lot better. You ready, Mama?
Let's do it.
All right, surf and turf, everybody. Cheers.
Wow. I'm coming back for more.
You're going for more.
I'm going for more. Yeah.
Look at you. Huh?
You think I'm gonna say no to shrimp? To shrimp? You're crazy.
The chimichurri is kind of strong, right? And then the shrimp is kind of sweet, as you guys know. Together with the pickled onion is also a little hint of sweetness. So there's a lot going on that shrimp. I'll definitely pay a lot more for this right here than for that one over there. Anyway, guys, these are the results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in anything I use, everything's always in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
See ya.